The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Up next on News 3, find out what disappointing information Macomb received this week concerning repairs for the town. Also, we have your first look into the new garages for the Go West buses and the offices for transit administration. And it's official, the post office is cutting Saturdays. Find out how the cost-saving measure is affecting the whole organization. Coming up now.
Welcome to News 3, live at 4. News with Jessica Adduci and with Chris Lovingood. Sports with Gabriel McDonagh. And weather forecasts from our team of meteorology students at Western Illinois University. News 3 starts right now. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Jessica Adduci. Thanks for joining us.
The Public Works Committee received 9 proposals from firms wanting to be the consultant for the downtown revitalization project. After review, they have made a decision.
Are making the recommendation to the City Council that Hutchison Engineering out of Jacksonville be hired as the consultant for the conceptual phase of the downtown project.
There is a $45,000 budget for this project. Hutchinson says they will have a contract proposal ready by next week for the City Council's approval. And the Illinois Department of Transportation has decided not to give Macomb the $1.2 million grant they had hoped for. The announcement was made at Monday's City Council meeting. The money was supposed to go towards improving West Adams Street. Water mains on that street will be replaced after spring semester as a part of a separate project. Mayor Mike Inman is urging the City Council to resubmit for funding next fall.
A construction project is underway since 2011 is finally near completion.
And News 3's Rachel Stiving is here with a first look on the new Go West Transit Center.
Thanks, Jessica and Chris. The Go West bus system serves students and the public in Macomb, but with the 6th highest readership in the state, it's needed facilities to maintain that fleet. I spoke to an official with Go West to bring you a behind-the-scenes look at what will soon be the new home to those big purple buses.
As you're driving around town, you may have seen all those Go West buses lined up behind Hardee's, but that will soon be changing. Go West is getting an upgrade.
This facility is 80,000 square feet. The facility, and we're in it by ourselves. The facility we're in now is 10,000 square feet, and we share it with another agency that is similar sized.
7 years ago, the bus system received a grant, and plans have been moving ever since.
We are at substantial completion. We've passed that point. We're now doing punch list items, and we're adding, like you see here, my phone and computer and those types of things into the building. We're going to move into this building sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
The new building includes 7 maintenance bays, an administrative facility, dispatch centers, and a break room for employees.
This new facility will be able to house all 50 Go West buses indoor year-round. Another perk of the new transit center is the GPS lighting, which can detect the sun wherever it is and will save on energy.
This is an energy-efficient facility. There's nothing opulent in this facility. Everything here has a use. There's nothing here that we did that's too much, and we're quite proud of that.
The total project cost was about $13.5 million, all of which was state and federal grants. An official grand opening is set for April 5th.
And we will be attending that grand opening, so stay tuned for more updates.
A recent budget update for the 2014 fiscal year is causing uncertainty for WIU. The state still owes WIU $47 million for the current fiscal year. The university says spending must be limited for immediate and essential operational needs only. The budget process for the next fiscal year suggests that higher education may see another reduction in funding, and pending discussions involving pension costs could affect the budget as well. Other universities across the state are facing similar financial troubles. Whether you're spending Valentine's Day alone or with a special someone, you'll want to stop by the Heritage Room tonight. Indian Paul Varghese is scheduled to take the stage at 7, and the show fits right into your college budget. Only $1 or one canned food item per person to get in the door. The performer has graced NBC's Last Comic Standing, the HBO Comedy Festival, Comedy Central's Live at Gotham, and a multitude of other stages. So tonight, 7 o'clock, get your laugh on with Paul Vergesses.
Another event you can head to tonight is the 3rd annual Black History Through Fashion Show. The show is titled Love Your Skin You're In and is a high-energy fashion show in which WIU students showcase their fashion sense while exploring African-American culture and history. The event is sponsored by the Black Student Association, takes place at 7 o'clock in the University Grand Ballroom tonight. Admission for this event is free. And the 40th annual WIU Jazz Festival began last night. Tomorrow, the Kofac Recital Hall will feature performances by Western's jazz ensembles and special guest trumpeter Marvin Stamp. On Saturday, there will be performances by area and regional high schools. Tickets are sold at the Hainline box office and are $15 for general admission, $8 for seniors, and $6 for students. WIU students are free with a student ID. And starting August 1st, you won't have to check your mailbox on Saturdays. News 3's Dana Fulton reports on the change in the Postal Service and why it's not a good sign.
On Wednesday, February 6th, the United States Postal Service announced a major change to their delivery schedule, the end of Saturday first-class mail delivery. But not everything will shut down on Saturdays. The offices will remain open, and package delivery will continue. Just first-class mail will no longer come to your doorstep. A news release highlights some positives for the USPS. It talks about cost reduction and savings plans, also mentioning the USPS has seen a 14% volume increase in package delivery since 2010. And research shows over 70% of Americans support the switch to just 5-day delivery. The release fails to mention the losses of the post office over the past decade. While many believe email was the death of the USPS, another online business pattern may have hurt the Postal Service even more.
The use of online bill paying, because so much of what used to go through the mail were checks. So you get your statement delivered to you by email, you do your online bill pay, and neither one has to use a stamp.
A frustrated Postal Commission had another setback this week. While they were trying to find ways to save money and their business, Congress is not working on their side.
Congress, in its wisdom, has tied their hands every way in order for them to actually run the post office.
A congressional committee is trying to force the post office to continue delivery on Saturdays. In Macomb, I'm Dana Fulton.
The post office is working hard to cut spending, including offering early retirement and shortening the hours at a majority of their small offices. And if you plan on taking your special someone out tonight, make sure to bundle up because there is snow in the forecast. News 3's Nicholas Stewart has the details.
As you can see, today we only got to 40 degrees, which is above normal, but combined with this very chilly northwesterly wind, it's very cold out there, and it feels very chilly. You can see the wind chill is only at 30 degrees. To look forward to, we can see snow. There's a possibility for some snow coming later tonight, but we are looking forward to maybe a calm weekend up ahead. Not, sunny skies and very, more normal temperatures. We're also tracking what could be a very possible major winter storm coming next week on Friday. We'll have full details about that coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Nick. If you're looking for something to do tomorrow, Western Illinois chapter of NAACP has you covered. Come out to the underground of Bayless and Henninger for a masquerade ball starting at 9 o'clock. The ball is open to all WIU students and the general public. Tickets can be purchased in advance for $3 or $4 at the door on the day of the event. For people who aren't students, tickets are $5 in advance and $6 at the door. Tickets can be purchased at the Gwendolyn Brooks Cultural Center or from the WIU NAACP chapter members. Food and beverages will be served.
And this Sunday is the 27th Annual Soul Food Festival. The event is a Sunday brunch and will be held in the Capitol Rooms of the University Union. The event starts at 1 and WIU encourages everyone to come out and try the delicious dishes.
Stop heading to the trash can after you eat and head to the WIU recycling bins instead. Recyclemania is back on the WIU campus. Every year, the universities and colleges across the country compete to see who is greener. Last year, Western ranked at the bottom, coming in at 237 out of 275. WIU's recycling program wants you to know that they have made the recycling process easier by letting you throw all of your plastic, metal, glass, and paper products into one bin. The competition has already started and ends March 13th. And it's that time again for Pet of the Week. This week's animal is Saffrey. Saffrey is a female cat in need of a good home for this Valentine's Day. Saffrey is a cream and white domestic short-haired cat. She is just 7 years old and 6.5 pounds. Not only is she spayed, but she is also up to date on her feline distemper shot. This cat was released to the shelter last October by her previous owner, and she is questionable living in a home with other cats. This sweet cat needs your help in finding a good home very soon. For any information on today's pet or any of the other animals, you can contact the shelter. Also, last week's dog Abby is still looking for a good home. These animals need your help, so please choose to adopt.
Western Illinois is now home to one of 3 rare pictures of President Abraham Lincoln.
We'll have that as well as gas prices when we return after the break.
A little bit of history has made its way to Sherman Hall here at WIU. A portrait of Abraham Lincoln that was made from one of 3 preserved negatives is being displayed in the President's Conference Room. The original portrait was part of a series of portraits taken in 1860 before Lincoln took office. WIU alumnus Matthew Toland received the portrait as a gift from the Illinois State Historical Society. He then donated the portrait to the WIU Foundation on February 5th. Anyone interested in seeing the portrait should call the President's office. You've probably noticed it's costing you more to fill up at the pump. Gas prices have been on the rise again. The national average for a gallon of regular gasoline is $3.60. That's an increase of 30 cents in 1 month, and it's 10 cents more than just last week. In Macomb, the average cost of a gallon of regular gasoline is $3.68.
60-year-old now behind bars. The former Dixon comptroller was sentenced today to 19 years in prison, set to begin immediately. Authorities are calling her $54 million heist the largest municipal fraud in the country's history. According to Chicago Tribune, the judge stated she showed greater passion for her horses than she did for the people of Dixon. She is still facing 60 separate accounts of fraud in Lee County. And Oscar Pistorius, the Olympic athlete who gained fame in London by becoming the first amputee runner in Olympic history, has been charged with murder. The victim, who has yet to be identified by the police, is believed to be Pistorius' girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp, who has already been confirmed dead by her publicist. A South African police spokeswoman said Pistorius and the victim were the only people present when the shooting took place. Witnesses and neighbors are currently being interviewed as the domestic violence is a possible factor. The Associated Press also reported a 9mm handgun was found in the home.
The manhunt for Christopher Dorner may finally be over. The following footage may be too graphic for some viewers. Police and Dorner surrounded in a cabin in the San Bernardino Mountains. When they tried to smoke him out of the cabin, it bursted into flames. A body, believed to be Dorner, was found in the ashes, but police have yet to get a positive ID. Dorner has been on the run since being named a prime suspect in the murder of an Irvine couple last Wednesday. He is also suspected of killing a policeman and wounding another officer. Pope Benedict XVI is suggesting he'll stay in complete isolation once he steps down in 2 weeks. He told clergymen from the Rome area today that he'll be close to all of them, quote, even if I remain hidden to the world. The Pope addressed priests from Rome today. That will likely be his final appearance before he resigns at the end of the month. Pope Benedict XVI stunned the world when he announced he will step down on February 28th, the first pope to resign in almost 600 years. Yesterday, he addressed his weekly general audience. The Pope said he was stepping down for the good of the Roman Catholic Church and thanked them for their prayers.
Coughing, sneezing, headache, congestion, and fever. These are all some symptoms of the flu. News 3's Corshea Terrell tells what you can do to prevent the flu.
Up to 65 million Americans get the flu every year. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, here are some steps you can take to keep yourself from catching the flu.
Well, the first thing in prevention is everybody needs to have a flu vaccine. So the first thing is get the flu vaccine. Wash your hands, keep areas clean, eat right, eat healthy.
If you already have the flu virus,
rest, lots of fluids, Usually takes, can take over 24 to 48 hours, sometimes longer than that. Tylenol is what we recommend for fever. Really, there's not any other medications unless it's antiviral, and of course you have to be seen for that to get medications for the flu, but you have to be seen within the first 24 hours for treatment.
Here at the Butte Health Center, students can find out what to do to prevent themselves from catching the flu. If you follow these simple tips, you won't have to visit the Butte Health Center. For Live at 4, I'm Corshea Terrell.
Thanks, Corshea. The flu causes Americans to miss millions of hours of work and school each year. And after the break, Nick Stewart will let you know what kind of weather to expect this weekend.
And as you can see today, we dropped down to 39 degrees. The temperatures are starting to drop down a little bit. Very blusterly northwest wind at 17 miles per hour is making the temperatures feel a lot colder, 30 degrees currently. As you can see, this was a satellite image from earlier today. Clouds really blanketed our entire area throughout the day. You can see, though, this little heart-shaped opening over Rockford may be nature's way of telling us Happy Valentine's Day. So you can see today we got up to 40 degrees, 34 down this morning. We're very comfortable with the high temperature, but we're still pretty above the normal low temperature. The cloud cover is desperately helping that. You can see the record back set in 1954 of 68 degrees. Some local temperatures, you can see Chicago is a cold spot, 38 degrees. Down in southern Illinois, 58 in Cape Girardeau. Nationally, if you've got to go warm, you got to go south. Orlando at 65 degrees. Quick look at the radar, you can see these showers kind of coming through over Iowa. That could be the cause for snow today. This is our next cause of winter weather, maybe coming through forming in Alaska. As you can see, very dense low pressure system here that could be coming. Currently, it's quiet across the country. This evening, we're going to get down maybe mid-20s. Winds are be increasing, and chance of light snow showers as well. This cold front will be passing through, dropping temperatures, bringing in colder wind. Friday, more the same. It'll be kind of clearing out. Saturday, the same. And as we go through the extended forecast, it'll be at 31 degrees for tomorrow in the mid-20s. Saturday will be pretty nice. It'll be sunny at least, and the sunshine in February is 80% warmer than that in January. It's just an interesting fact. And that sun will really help us warm up until Sunday and through the weekend until President's Day on Monday.
Oh, well, thank you for that, Nick. I've noticed it's been really windy lately.
Yes, windy, and nobody knows windy weather better than the Windy City and the Chicago Bulls, right, Gabe?
That's certainly right. The Bulls were involved in a dramatic finish last night over in Boston. We'll tell you who prevailed after the break. The Western Illinois men's basketball team resumes play tonight as they will begin their final road trip of the season in the Dakotas. The Leathernecks will look to extend their winning streak to 3 games as they will take on the North Dakota State Bison tonight. Last time these teams met was last month in a 50-42 win for Leathernecks here at home. Defense was key in the matchup as both teams shot under 40% on the game. The second half was a different story for the Leathernecks as they shot 64% from the field, in part from a 12-0 run to start the second half. Senior Ciola Clark III led all scorers with 13 points, all in the second half, while the Bison's top scorer, Mike Felt, only scored 10. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight from Fargo, North Dakota. Staying with basketball, the struggling Bulls were in Boston on their last game before the All-Star break, taking on Doc Rivers' squad. After a low-scoring first half, we pick it up at the TD Gardens in Boston. Nate Robinson, nice bounce pass to Joakim Noah for the finish. Bulls up by 6. Celtics do come back, though. Jeff Green in the fourth, taking it to the rack in a reverse slam. Celtics up 5 with 5 minutes left, and now with 3 minutes left, Paul Pierce, the truth will set you free as he drains the 3, puts the Celtics up by 5, 65-60. 6 seconds left, Bulls down by 2. Nate Robinson intentionally misses a free throw. It's bounced around a little bit. Marco Bellinelli comes up with it, puts up the shot. Jason Terry's not having any of that. Taj Gibson throws up a heave, and that's an air ball. Bulls would go on to lose 71-69 in Boston. Bulls will have a well-needed weekend off as they won't play again until Tuesday due to the NBA All-Star Weekend. Blackhawks were at home, though, on Tuesday, facing the Anaheim Ducks over at the United Center. Second period, no score. Ducks on the power play here. Ryan Getlog takes it right past Corey Crawford, and that's the first score of the game, 1-0. Later in the second, Hawks on the power play now. Nick Letty with the one-timer puts it right past Victor Foss for the game-tying goal. Hawks now up 2-1 in the third. In the game, a couple minutes left in the game, Ben Lovejoy puts it on net, and that shot's redirected by Andrew Cogliano to tie the game. We go to overtime, no score, and we go to a shootout. Third shooter for the Hawks, for the Ducks, excuse me, puts it in right past Corey Crawford. Last chance for the Hawks, and Faust with the big stop. Faust stops that as Saad was not able to score. Anaheim wins by a score of 3-2. Blackhawks do fall to 10-0-3 on the year, but have yet to lose in regulations. Hawks play again tomorrow against the Sharks, home at 7.
Thanks again, Gabe, for the sports update. If you were in the Union today, you might have noticed some dancing going on.
Stay tuned to find out how Western's Feminine Action Alliance is celebrating the 15th anniversary of V-Day. Earlier today, those in the Union were surprised by a flash mob. This wasn't just any ordinary flash mob. The dance was to support the stop of violence against women.
All around the world, flash mobs have been coming together in honor of this cause called 1 Billion Rising. The dance wants women to walk out, dance, rise up, and demand an end to this violence. Along with the dance, there was a booth in the Union providing information about this national cause.
That's all the time we have this afternoon. For Nicholas Stewart, I'm Chris Lovingood.
And for Gabriel McDonagh, I'm Jessica Adduci. We'll see you here next Thursday. Have a great weekend.